Welcome back. Good to see you.
Nice to see you, Zane. Thank you for having us.
Yes, with this brand new album, which was recorded over the course of a few weeks up in musical heaven.
Yeah, actually, prior to going up there to musical heaven, we did watch your tour of the Shangri-La studios.
I thought I did.
That was kind of what sealed the deal, actually.
We really liked the mic setup on that interview.
That was that definitely was. It
was
went
good.
round out.
Look how relaxed they look, we thought, didn't we?
Yeah.
In that interview.
James Ford had always wanted to go to that studio.
Yeah,
the producer, James Ford, produced the
studio drummer
record. Yeah. He'd always wanted to go there. Maybe he sent us a link to it.
Yeah.
Smart fella, he knew who to trust.
Is it idyllic down there, though? It's before you even get to the twiddling any knobs.
And then when you go in, like the smell. That's what hit me, was the smell. The pine wood or whatever he's got going on.
What's he burning in there? Yeah. He's burning something. There is. No.
Ruben, what's he burning in there?
What's he burning in there?
Hey, Rick, what are you burning in there?
What are you burning in there, pal?
Put that down. What are you burning? Tell us your secret there, Rick.
Ray.
No,
Ray.
Hey, Ray, what are you burning there, lad?
When you first started recording this record, did you have an idea how you wanted it to sound? Did you know the feel of the record, even if you couldn't contextualize or put it into words?
We searched for a while. I think when we were writing it and stuff, we thought, do we need to make this something completely different to the first record? And we were maybe looking for a new thing, and maybe we looked too hard. And then we realised that it was the thing of me and Al working together and writing the songs, that is the thing of it, really. And we didn't need to sort of make a record, like Depeche Mode.
Because the first record had it was all about
one specific thing.
Or a sort of short list of records that we just were new to us at that time. Like, we've said it 1,000 times, but Scott Walker,
David Axelrod,
Ennio Morricone,
yeah.
but that's the first record. It's like, we wanted to go and chase after that. Like, that was what we were after. Because all those influences now, all those influences now,
those ones,
we've since probably seeped into everything we've done since. So it's like, going into this one, we're thinking, do we need a new list of something like that that's new to us in order to make a record? And like Miles said, it dawned on us really that the other part of what that first record had was the foundation of it was to songwriting together. So once we started off, in answer to your question, no, we didn't. When we started writing, we didn't have a sound in mind.
And the thing that did help it, I think, as well, was when we started the pre-production, I guess, with James and Zach, and we were jamming out these acoustic songs that were written, you know what I mean?
Getting the structure right.
That sort of kind of brought it all together. And then the icing on the cake that did bring it together was on the song Everything You've Come to Expect. Just before going in, that sort of took on this new lease of life, that we'd had these lyrics for a while of this song, and then Al wrote the chorus and put it to these lyrics and made this little demo on an organ the week before, and that sort of was like the light, really, and it just sort of brought everything together.
I love that song. I mean, even on first impression, that's one of my favorites on the record for sure. I'm glad you chose it as the album title because it's a cornerstone of that record, I think.
Yeah, no, I think that's the most far out we got, I suppose. Starting with the first song, Aviation, there's a moment in the middle eight where we were harmonising. And at this point when we were writing, this wasn't even necessarily going to be a Shadow Puppets record. It was just like we were writing. Maybe it was going to be like Miles's next record. But there was something in the sound of the voices together and the melody and what was happening in the chords that seemed to allude to what the future could sound like for the Shadow Puppets
And when
record.
was that? I'm trying to piece it together. Like, if you're writing that song, how long before you really went into songwriting and production mode for a Puppets record?
That song was probably a couple of years ago,
Wow, so you still had some
that
time.
was years ago.
We made a little demo.
Nice to be able to put that in your pocket and know that you still got the fire in the belly for that project, though, based on that one experience.
Yeah, I think we best realised that thing on the title track.
Yeah.
And that was the furthest into those types of chord shapes and that zone that we went, really.
I'm a fan of both of your work as songwriters, so I don't mind telling you this. I think they're some of the most interestingly written songs you guys have done. Yet, I think the chemistry between the words and melodies in the songs, they're ambitious, I think,
Yeah, I mean, it's...
The first album to me sounds great, but it sounds like ideas sometimes over songs. It sounds like you're searching for the sound.
Yeah, no, if it's a movie, it's the kind of thing that you say, like, it's visually stunning, but there's not really much of a plot.
The clothes were great in the movie.
And the award for best costume design goes to Age of the Understatement.
So like this time, hopefully, there's a little bit more of a
no question,
but like it still doesn't necessarily always fit together, and it's not a strong narrative necessarily, but I think it's certainly an improved version, I think.
What's funny, what's ironic to me is the album's called Everything You've Come to Expect, and yet the first song we hear really is a standalone, total standalone, like Bad Habits. Like, that comes through, kicks you in the nuts, and then says, I'm really sorry, actually. I'm not, I'm not that drunk.
Sorry.
do you know what I mean? Because the rest of the record just puts its arm around you and takes you for a really good night out.
Yeah.
But it's like a pretty nasty first impression for a record that doesn't follow through.
Yeah, Bad Habits, I'm sorry about your shirt.
Sorry about your new suede shoes, mate.
Exactly. That one feels to me like it came together that way as well. Like it was in the studio and just like, right, let's get the tone of the song and then just where it goes after that.
It was one of them where Al had that bass line and then...
Hell of a bass line.
We were just...
I played that for about 45 minutes and
Yeah.
he did the thing that ends up being the song and like probably didn't repeat himself at all, just like, Bad Habits! Large rabbit,
he comes up,
blue dog.
He's like Bad Habits, and he's like this sick puppet.
But you can do that
It's
like
so
all
good.
day. Like you could have done that for like 72 hours.
It's so good because it's like the imagery you get, which is really all we want from music, right? Is we want it to take us somewhere. The image of that one is exactly that. Spit it.
How it came about was us just doing that for ages and then taking the best bits or the bit that's
Nasty.
made the most sense.
It's nasty.
Made the least sense.
Yeah, and a hell of a string arrangement from Owen too on that.
Very Hitchcocky, isn't it?
Very.
Darting eyes.
Owen,
Go in there and do me something I can dart my eyes to, will you?
Okay, Alex. How do you communicate with that guy? I mean, do you speak string? Is that how it goes?
I think it's because we don't. No. Owen actually came.
He was with us the whole time.
To Shangri-La this time. So he was he was next door, like on the grand piano, working on the arrangement. So we were able to work a lot more
Together.
I think he prefers to work that way as well. That's what he was saying. Because if you have the time to sit down and go through it together, I think ultimately that's how he prefers to work.
So you're up in up in Shangri-La. And, what are you working as? How are you doing it? Because this is the other thing about that place is it's nice to be able to switch off there too. You get a lot done by not doing anything at all at Shangri-La.
We only had it for a few weeks, so we had to kind of get on with it. But
We did have a 4th week on hold and we were going to lie and say we hadn't finished it. But
Right.
It was nice. It was chilled and our mates and, girlfriends came down. It was a very relaxing time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, you can hear it in the music. There's one song in particular I want to talk to you about. I'm assuming the TN stands for Tennessee, or at least that's the intention.
Yeah.
So Sweet Dreams, Tennessee, which is that an actual place, or am I reaching too far?
No, it's about a young lady who's from Tennessee.
Right.
Yeah.
Nicknamed Sweet Dreams.
So it's like I suppose the title was like some sort of unpersonification of it, or something like make it into a town rather than a person.
It's a good reflection of your vocal approach on this record, or at least what it came out of you, which was a very kind of smooth, none of the lost moments.
Yeah. He was out the chamber singing that one.
It's very, I think your voice sounds very rich and lush on this record. You're able to get inside the songs.
Yeah. I was reaching for something vocally that I hadn't done so before.
Singing that one.
It's very, I think your voice sounds very rich and lush on this record. You're able to get inside the songs.
Yeah. I was reaching for something vocally that I hadn't done so before. But again, that came from the approach the first time round and this idea that when we made that record, I can't remember trying to even sing before that. I didn't really think of it as singing until then. And Miles and I wrote those songs for the first record and suddenly it was like we were trying to sing like singers. So this time, with that in mind, it's like, what else can we do now? So sometimes on this one, I was trying to sing really softly and
Yeah, totally. There's a smoothness to it.
yeah. But I think with this project, and the moment you recognize it is outside what you usually do, in terms of like the Arctic Monkeys or, you know, Miles Kane's solo
Trampoline.
triangle, it gives you the confidence to do things like sing differently or write lyrics like more personal perhaps than like anything I've written before.
We're going to play a song which we're going to share with the world we're very excited about, which is song number 2 on this record called Miracle Aligner. Without giving away too much about what it's about, like how it came to be, how you recorded
It's about a
it.
yoga teacher.
Okay, good. I'm glad to see you've reached an era of full forthcoming when it comes to song titles.
It's about a make-believe wrestler, actually.
Yeah, years ago there was this.
Welcome
there was
back.
An idea
Good
for
to
this
see you.
that had always
Nice
been
to see
around,
you,
One that
Zane.
came back.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
some help
with this
from
brand
my
new
friend
album.
Alexandra Saviour on this one. She and I wrote a lot of it together, but it ended up being most at home under the Shadow Puppets umbrella.